Hey guys, Liquid here, and welcome back to Let's Answer Some Questions. As always, post questions below, and I will answer them next week. Let's get started. First off, Sponsorship asks, can you Let's Play the Dragon Age Saga? Keep doing what you do, I've been around since the beginning. Thank you very much for the question and the comment. Dragon Age games, and as well as other BioWare games, or games that I've never played, but I would like to check out. Dragon Age, I feel I don't really see many people talk about these days. Like a Mass Effect, I think is still like in the hearts of many. I'm assuming that when you say Dragon Age Saga, you just mean like the series, and that's not like a different thing. Yeah, Origins, Dragon Age 2, Dragon Age, like yeah, Dragon Age Inquisition, I just kind of like completely forgot about. But I do remember when the first Dragon Age came out. I remember like having a friend who was playing it quite a bit and really enjoyed it, and I've heard good things about it. I feel like I've heard. I can't remember exactly what the reaction was of 2 and Inquisition, but I feel like it was much more mixed than the first time around. But yeah, I would be interested in checking them out, like as well as possibly other games that might be kind of similar, maybe like Baldur's Gate or something like that, that I've never really played. That I think are similar to like what that style is. Red Hood 440 asks, what country would you like to visit the most that you have not been to? Well, probably the first one will probably be Japan. That'll be like, I guess, the obvious answer. Other than that, I don't know, maybe like England or somewhere. It's like somewhere in Europe. Like could be a nice little cultural holiday or something. Okay, Royal Guard sends his thanks, and I say thank you very much for the comment. Magma Ascending asks, would you be interested in going back to multiple Let's Plays at a time? I remember back in 2011 or so, you used to be in the middle of 4 Let's Plays or so, and I think that would be great. Right, so yes, I used to do many Let's Plays at a time, and what I used to do was up until, you know, this recent sort of like big hiatus that I had, where I just kind of came back, and now I've only been kind of doing one Let's Play at a time, like 1 video a day. Back at like my peak or so, there used to be a time when I would upload. Not only would I be doing many Let's Plays at a time, but I'd also be uploading many videos per day. And the thing about it is, like, you know, to upload a video, first you need to record the video, and it can take a lot of time. It can take up a lot of time to, you know, just like when I think back of the days when I was like uploading 3 videos a day, I'm almost like wondering how I did it, because in order to just have like a constant supply of 3 videos, it's very time consuming. I do think that maybe like my videos might have been shorter back then, like because you used to YouTube, you could only upload 10-minute videos, and then they like changed it to 15 minutes, and then they changed it to like, you know, infinite. And also, okay, this question isn't exactly about multiple videos a day as much as Let's Plays at a time. But I was also going to say about when it comes to uploading multiple videos in a day, that's also something I think I've come to have more respect for other people's subscription boxes, and I don't really just want to like flood people's subscription boxes with like a bunch of videos each day. Like it can be annoying, like when you get on YouTube and just see like the same channel just uploaded like you know, 10 videos or something. But as for, you know, multiple Let's Plays at a time, you know, that's something that I feel like I started experimenting with that like pretty early in my YouTube thing, my YouTube career or so. like I remember doing like SWAT cats as well as like Resident Evil 3 or something. Or like I think I did like GoldenEye as well as like Final Fantasy 7, like back way back. Um, but and so what I would do is, I think like I might have done it other ways as well, but I think what I would usually do is I would upload recording sessions at a time. Like I would upload, let's say I remember I had this like sort of like this weird like kind of schedule where I would, like, one let's play would be like a horror game let's play, one let's play would be like a Spider-Man superhero game let's play, the other another game would be like what's a maybe that's like a random game, and then like I want to say like I had like another category where it's like, I would be doing like a Resident Evil game, and when I finished that Resident Evil game, I would move on to another Resident Evil game, and then each category would like move on to a different game in its category. And what I would do is, I would record like a recording session, and because like I've never really been one, for the most part, like I have certainly done this at times, but I typically don't record like, just upload an entire recording session. Like my videos are only like 20 minutes long, but usually when I record, it's like I record for a couple hours. And so what I would do is, back in the day, I would, let's say let's take I don't know, Resident Evil 4 or something. I would record a bunch of Resident Evil 4, and then I might record a bunch of like Spyro or something, then I might record a bunch of like Spider-Man something. And what I would do is, over a couple of days, I would upload the Resident Evil 4 I uploaded, and then after that, I would upload the Spyro that I recorded, and then I would upload the Spider-Man stuff that I recorded, and so it was like kind of in turns or whatever. And so could I return to that? Like in theory, I could, and in a lot of ways, it probably would help, just to, I guess, appease more people. Right now, I'm just kind of more concerned with just like being consistent and recording stuff. Like I have been, like right now, King Kong is going up, but I do have a lot of videos that I've just not really that I've not gotten around to uploading. And for me, I think recording kind of just one let's play at a time helps me perhaps keep track of that game. Like instead of just like how do I describe this? Let's say if I record Resident Evil 4, then record Spyro 3, then record Spider-Man something. By the time I get back to Resident Evil, I'll have to kind of refresh my memory sometimes. Whereas just focusing on one game, I guess it makes it easier to keep up with, I guess. But this very well may change, like as I go on and get a bigger backlog of videos and whatnot, and it becomes clear that, or what I probably would do is, instead of just going back to like multiple Let's Plays at a time, I might just try to upload the Let's Plays that I have more quickly, like do like a video every day, including Saturdays or something like that. It's something that I'm thinking about, like that I have thought about and whatnot. But right now, I don't really see any big reason to try to change it, because I do think it's important that I just try to have like a nice little backlog to save me, just in case I don't upload or I don't record for like a month or so, and I can still have videos to upload. But yeah, like I think, yeah, like just to sum it all up, like a big reason, I guess, that I just don't really do that anymore. Just like, it is just really, really time consuming. Like I kind of mentioned in the beginning, like even if you're only up, like, because it requires you to just, yeah. So hopefully my explanation has been sufficient. But like I said, I am keeping it in mind. Red Robin asks, have you heard of The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning, and will you ever play it? I I am familiar with these other Spyro games that aren't like I've only really played the main like the first three games. Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon. I have played a little bit of Spyro 4, but I never really got too far in it. Like I think I got like stuck or something. That's something. So as for just like in general other Spyro games, I would like to get around to them, like including Spyro 4. And I know after that they like had something where like it was like a Hero's Tale, and then they like moved on to this like Legend of Spyro thing, which I think like Elijah Wood voiced Spyro. For the most part, I'm not really familiar with it too much, but I think I have actually heard decent things about it. Here's the Hero's Tale. Like I think I remember like a friend of mine like saying that like the story was like really epic or something like that. I'm like I said, I really don't know anything about the series. I don't know if it's like still like an overworld like the main games, or if it's just like a linear story. But I'll think about it. Like, but before that, I would probably get to Spyro 4. Or I call it Spyro 4, but it's like Spyro Enter the Dragonfly or whatever, or Year of the Dragonfly. Or Enter the Dragonfly, yeah, because the Year of the Dragon was Spyro 3. Just look at let's see if I can find a list of all the games. And then, oh yeah, there's also like Season of Ice, Season of Flame, which were like, I think, Game Boy games, Game Boy Advance games. Orange, the Cortex. Crash Bandicoot Purple, Ripto's Rampage, and Crash Orange, or Spyro Orange, the Cortex Conspiracy. I remember that, like they did like some weird Crash Spyro crossover for the Game Boy Advance. Right, but like almost like a Pokemon Red Blue type thing. And then, oh yeah, Attack of the Rhinox is another Game Boy. Yeah, they had a lot of Game Boy games. Yeah, a Hero's Tale, which is another PS2 game, which I'm not really sure what the reception to it was. Apparently, yeah, it seemed to get decent reviews. A Hero's Tale delivers a decent amount of fun. While lacking innovation in style and play mechanics, the game controls well and offers enough challenge and length to warrant a hard look by parents looking to buy a game for their kids. Shadow Legacy apparently is a DS game. Never even heard of that game. Yeah, then we get in 2006 we get Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning, Legend of Spyro: The Eternal Night, Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon. And then we get Skylanders, which when I first heard about Skylanders, like the whole Spyro connection was very, it was like, it was almost like, Spyro featuring like Skylanders featuring Spyro. But I think these days Skylanders has kind of like moved on to be its kind of own identity, and like Spyro's kind of disappeared from it. I'm not really sure. But yeah, I will look into these Legend of Spyro games at some point. Sluis Swoxia asks, so it's been half a year, 6 months, since your grand return to YouTube. How has it been going back to making videos? First, I gotta say that is actually kind of weird when I think about it. Cause like, I think it was July, yeah, July or so that I started making videos again, and it doesn't really feel like 6 months. But that is kind of cool, I guess. Like, it does show that I have kept at it quite a bit. And I do have like, I've still got a lot of videos. I could stop recording now. Like I just not record anything, and probably still have like enough videos to upload for another few months. But I'd say it's been a fun little thing. Yeah, I think just like kind of keeping somewhat consistent with it has helped a lot. And like having something like this Q&A series, like even though like sometimes like it might not really be that interesting, like there might not be that many questions, or I might not really give too many interesting answers. Like it still gives me sort of a reason to regularly record something, so that even if I go a few weeks or so without recording like an actual Let's Play video, I'm still like having to open up OBS and whatnot, because back when I'd gone like a year or so without recording anything, like opening OBS, it was like how do I use this again? Like, so it keeps my mind fresh, I guess, with recording and all that. But yeah, like it's been all right. I'd say. Like, I'm very curious to see where it goes from here, because I do have some interesting little plans for how I'm gonna try to divide the content on this channel. Or like last time I mentioned, where I do plan to open up as to get a new channel going, where I'll probably be uploading the bulk of my Japanese stuff on that channel, and probably just like kind of use this channel to more focus on just random stuff. But yeah, it's been alright, I'd say. Like, it's definitely something where I guess I do wish I had like returned to it sooner, I guess, like, because it's not really as, because when you put it off so much, like, it's the type of thing where like the idea of having to start recording again and making it this big backlog and whatnot seems kind of difficult. But it is actually kind of, in a lot of ways, it just does itself, I guess. Does that make sense? But yeah, it's been all right, and hopefully it continues for another 6 months and whatnot, and many years. Flame Gamer Hotspot 2000 asks, with not last but not least, asks, would you like to visit other colder places like Alaska? So I have mentioned, in various videos and whatnot, that I really do like snow and the cold and whatnot. And, my favorite levels in video games do happen to be, if there's ever a snow level or some of that, I don't know, I just really like it. As for like Alaska, I do think it would be interesting. I'm not sure if I would want to live there, but it would be like a nice place to visit, I think. Like, get we get right into it. I do have a great respect for, there are two people I can think of. One you may have heard of is Christopher McCandless, who was the inspiration for the film Into the Wild, who famously basically abandoned, turned his back on society, and went and just lived in a little bus in Alaska. And but unfortunately, his spoiler warning, his little stay was not long lived. He did not make it very long. But there was another person who I can't remember. Man lives in Alaska years. I was gonna Google that. Yeah, Richard Prudhomme, famously a self-educated naturalist who lived alone for nearly 30 years in the mountains of Alaska in a log cabin he had constructed by hand near the shore of Twin Lakes. Prudhomme hunted, fished, raised, and gathered his own food, and also had supplies flown in occasionally. He documents his activities in journals and on film, and also recorded valuable meteorological and natural data. The journals and film were later used by others to write books and produce documentaries about his time in the wilderness. Yeah, there's a picture of him here. I think eating something. He was, you can call him much more successful I don't really think his time in Alaska wasn't really as much like with that Chris McCandless fella. Like he kind of went to Alaska, to get away from society and whatnot, and how he hated modern society. Or at least like that's how the movie like made it out. I'm not really sure like how accurate it all is. Whereas this fella, didn't like really completely turn around on society, because as I understand, like he did eventually leave Alaska, like when he got older, and he says he died in California, and like to my understanding, like if ever like there was a winter or something that did get too hard, he would go back to the mainland, like the contiguous states or whatever, and he did like rely on others sometimes for like I think like his brother or something would like fly in food or supplies and stuff like that. But yeah, like I do like have a admiration for the people who do have the survival skills and will and determination to live something like that, and this fella did for 30 years. There's a YouTube channel I really like called Historic Hunter, who these days he mainly just like does like mousetrap reviews, but he's also like just does videos on like how to make a bow and arrow, how to cook frog, like on like a simple fire, all that stuff. Like I do have a like great respect and admiration for those type of people. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And till next time, that's been all the questions. Hope you guys enjoyed. Till next time, Liquid out.